War, war, war. It never changes. With the collapse of society and all civilization, vaults became the homes of the wealthy and influential, with every means for survival. Acting as a nucleus, Vault Zero contained the greatest specimens around to one day reunite people with advanced technologies. But after the bombs were dropped, communications between the vaults was lost, and many were forced into barbaric means for survival. But one such vault in North America emerged and salvaged the tech inside the vaults. This commitment to preserving technology served as their pillar. They would soon become known as the Brotherhood of Steel. They used their knowledge to wave off the ravages of the Wasteland as the technological saviors of mankind. Always scouring for more, the Brotherhood's search led to bandit towns and mutant camps. But the Wasteland proved too demanding. They needed more men. However, the Elders decreed that trade with outsiders would be forbidden. After their army collapsed, super mutants were forced to retreat into the wastes. The Brotherhood would go on to build airships and observe the actions of the remaining super mutants from the sky. But a harsh and mighty storm tore the main airship, the Minority, to pieces. Sending it and the crew plummeting toward the earth, many lives were lost. But those that survived found themselves in the remains of a city once known as Chicago. Abandoning their elder code, this small band of Brotherhood would trade with nearby villages. They garnered new recruits from the village warriors, and together they formed a new Brotherhood sanction, with all new ideals. But somewhere else, across the desolate plains, an old power is awakening. Of the village warriors, one older male had his name changed to adhere to Brotherhood ideals. He receives his new moniker, Beauregard, as his call sign. This 53-year-old black man is the strongest individual in his tribe, and was blessed with the eyes of a hawk. Had he lived a life following the American dream, he'd have set new records as an NFL linebacker. But instead, he's being called a lizard-chasing, hut-dwelling, moon-worshipping savage by his basic training instructor, Paladin Ziskel. Ziskel is tasked with turning the village recruits into initiates by teaching them the basics of combat and inventory management. Each and every recruit is issued a Pip-Boy 2000 computer to receive their future mission briefs. Through a series of tutorial lessons, Beauregard learns proper combat tactics for gunfights, melee, and throwables. He also learns about the advantages of different battle stances. He's taught how to pick locks, how to avoid being detected, and how to heal wounds. He'll need these skills to engage with combatants, but knowing when not to fight can also lead to beneficial intel. For clearing this tutorial, Beauregard is rewarded with a bath and his first mission. Being sent on small-scale fights, he is taught proper ambush training. Through real-time combat scenarios, he learns the purpose of luring enemies into a friendly sentry combatant. He's also taught how beneficial it is to take strategic positions for synchronized assaults in his stealth training. And lastly, as part of his sniper training, he learns the importance of height advantage in combat. With his tactical training complete, he is rewarded with a real mission. Beauregard's initiation begins with Paladin Ryzek, giving him and the other successful trainees a soothing introduction.
I am in charge of training you backward maggots in the art of war and survival.
His first mission, recruitment detail. Beauregard must find another village and remind them that if they wish to keep the Brotherhood's protection, they must provide them with warriors. And that's when Ryzek tells them about the 3 rules of their issued kits. If their gun is damaged, reprimanded. If their armor is damaged, reprimanded. But if they lose either, death. With the last word, the doors behind Beau open, and Ryzek welcomes them to the Brotherhood of Steel. Basking in the sunlight, Beauregard receives a message from General Barnaky. He says Beau should be proud of himself for graduating, because the initiate test has an 85% attrition rate. Barnaky informs that he will be giving him every mission briefing in the future, and tells him about the current task. 2 nights ago, Brahmin Wood, a tribal village, was raided and later accepted the Brotherhood of Steel's terms of aid in exchange for recruits and supplies. At this time, Brahmin Wood villagers have either been slain or imprisoned. Why the raiders are enclosing on the Brotherhood base is unknown. They have also killed other knights on previous missions. Beauregard must lead a small squad of 3 to Brahmin Wood and eliminate the raider leader, as well as all remaining criminals. Joining him are Farsight, who trained in long-range fighting from being blessed with steady hands and good eyesight, as well as Stitch, the incredible battlefield medic. The last note Barnaky gives to Beau states the village elder must survive at all costs, as he will serve a key role for the Brotherhood, seeing as only he may deal with outsiders for his village. Beau takes a look at his map intelligence for a point of interest battle strategy. Using the information collected from informants, he makes a path for them to follow. Point 1 is lightly patrolled, but Point 2 is currently being used as a guardhouse. Using a main door entry to the encampment, they'll make their way to Point 3, the first line of defense, an occupied gatehouse. But they must tread carefully around this area, because this is where they kennel their war dogs. and if they are disturbed, they will alert the rest of the raiders. Moving through Point 4's guard post, they will enter Point 5. This is a well-defended bunker, and it is unclear how many raiders are held inside, after which they will pass through Point 6, a set of dense ruins, to Point 7, the headquarters. The final point is where the leader is most likely to be found, so Barnaky tells Bo to expect heavy resistance. Just outside Brahmin Wood, Beauregard meets Charon, the elder of Brahmin Wood, with a small group of escaped tribals. He says his village was attacked and agrees to establish a trade with the Brotherhood of Steel, but he fears doing so will be a mistake that will haunt him to his grave. He promises if Bo can save the villagers, he will gain more soldiers at his side. Beauregard, Farsight, and Stitch cross a walking bridge in formation to Point 1. Reaching the other side, they hear a gunshot come from the west and take cover behind some rubble. A war dog comes barreling toward Bo, but the squad shoots the mongrel before he is attacked. Sneaking around more rubble, they also take out the war dog's owner, but Bo does suffer a graze. Moving along the fence, Farsight and Stitch take up positions while Beauregard attempts to draw the enemy near. Snaking through some rocks looking for a sight line, Farsight is shot. She is able to kill the raider, allowing Bo to sneak along the fence more. He discovers a raider hiding behind some sandbags and runs back into formation. Far moves behind a distant rock while Stitch stealthily walks up to the bags. Bo runs over to his spot, alerting the raider, leading to him being shot twice for heavy damage, but Farsight is able to take him out. Bo attempts to heal his wounds, but mistakenly cripples his own left leg. He tries once more and does heal himself, but remains crippled. Farsight rejoins the squad and Stitch moves behind the sandbags. Bo hobbles in, grabbing the raider's attention, and leads him into his squad mate's gunfire. The squad moves into the guardhouse and finds a house key in a closed chest. Beauregard unlocks the gatehouse using the key, and the squad sneaks into Point 3. In aggression, Farsight shoots a raider. Fearing for his life, he runs away. Stitch and Far give chase while Bo hobbles behind. Outside, they are spotted by another raider, and the three take formation near him. Beauregard is smacked, and Farsight is attacked by a war dog, but Stitch uses his shotgun to split the dog in two. Beauregard is shot while pulling out his SMG, but thankfully Stitch is able to kill the raider, while also critically wounding Bo. Farsight then snipes the runaway raider. Bo and Far take the time to heal their wounds, but Stitch, using a doctor's bag, nicks Bo and then heals him completely. The squad very quietly sneaks into the dog pen, unlatches the gate, and walks through without waking the war dogs and their owner. They are seen by the Brahmin though. Closing the gate behind them, Beauregard pushes on. They barge into a tool shed where some raiders are torturing some captives. The squad begins firing at the raiders and one flees, but the other bludgeons Farsight before being killed. Farsight then lands a shot on the runner, killing him. Beauregard and his squad are thanked by the tribesmen for having saved their lives. Moving through the tool shed, the squad kills a patrolling raider, and they head in the mess hall tent to find a raider hiding. He manages to land a shot on Far before dying. The squad sneaks around a well to Point 4, a guard post with surrounding barbed wire. They carefully crawl into assault positions and delete the raider. Passing through the guard post, they can see Point 5. Across the street is a heavily guarded demolished railroad station. The squad enters a nearby parking lot and sneak through an alleyway where they find a raider in hiding. They try to take him out silently. The squad resumes sneaking ahead, but they're spotted by one of the raiders on the tracks, so they take up formation near the barbed wire and kill their spotter. While running to cover, Bo and Stitch are shot, but the squad manages to surround the bunker and prepare assault positions. Farsight and Stitch sneak around to the back entrance to fire at one raider, while Bo jumps into action and finishes him off. Stitch and Far fully enter and kill the remaining raider, and once sheltered, the squad heals their wounds. Sneaking into the ruins, the squad can see an overwatch tower. Beauregard manages to climb the tower quietly, but is detected once he reaches the top. Although he is shot 3 times, Bo is able to kill the raider. While in the loft, Bo scrounges for any ammunition and medical aid, and while climbing back down, he hears a raider from behind a wall. Preparing for the engagement, Bo heals his wounds. Acting as bait, Stitch draws the raider into a trap of Bo and Farsight, but Stitch does receive a blow to the back. Sneaking further into Point 6, Beauregard is detected by a raider, but his aim is terrible to the point he retreats. The squad follows and guns him down. Pressing forward, the squad is found by a raider and his war dog, so they take cover behind a wall. The mutt manages to bite Bo before being sent to the Great Kennel in the sky? Another raider rushes in, shoots Bo, and turns into Swiss cheese. Beauregard runs around the corner, sprays his SMG, and runs back behind cover. But a raider can see him through a window and shoots him through it, so Bo retreats further back. Farsight takes a long path around for an ambush, while Stitch sprints in to match the timing of her entry, and the two manage to kill Bo's assailant. Sneaking into the last building of the ruins, they are detected by another hidden raider who shoots Bo and Far, but Stitch is able to put him down. The squad kneels behind a large rock and engages the enemy. They're able to kill him, but with Farsight and Stitch sustaining heavy wounds, the squad retreats to recover. Healed up, the squad runs out of sight behind a tent, where Farsight tosses in 2 grenades around a corner to kill a raider. Another raider runs over to check his comrade, only to be shot at by the squad, so he scampers away. They follow him and shoot, and again he attempts to flee, but because he's taken too much damage, he falls to the ground and perishes from the loss of blood. The squad then proceeds to sneak along the side of Point 7, the HQ. Trying to avoid detection, the squad crawls in, but they're still discovered by the raider boss, Horace, and he begins to monologue about enslaving them for his boss. Once he finishes his speech, bullets begin to fly, and one of the raiders is killed, but Stitch suffers a critical injury, so the squad retreats outside to patch up Stitch. Together, the squad rushes in and they take cover behind some clay pots. They manage to kill another raider, but Stitch is hit yet again. He quickly wraps the wound, and the squad crawls under a table where Bo is shot. Spraying between the table legs, they manage to kill 2 more raiders, and then, due to a misunderstanding, Bo thinks he needs to keep the raider leader alive. So he whips out his rusty old monkey wrench and whacks Horace with it. Suffering a blow to the head, Horace begins to monologue again. In his speech, he states that the Brotherhood of Steel is no different than his clan of raiders as he plants a round into Bo, followed by a dent to the skull. General Barnaky sends in a message saying that the squad has completed their mission and can safely return to the base. Before leaving, Beauregard returns to the village elder and he thanks them. He refers to Bo as a Deathclaw protecting her cubs. He tells them they will be considered as part of the Brahmin wood family and gives them an ancient gift as a reward. Looking down at his hand, Bo realizes he's looking at a detonator. Reaching the extraction point, General Barnaky gives Bo's squad a full debrief. He congratulates them on a job well done, and says the Brotherhood will continue to grow. The village will now be under strict rules to truly live free. He compliments Beauregard's promising ability to complete the mission without a single villager casualty, and says the Brotherhood sees potential in him. He then mentions that as a sign of respect, the village elder has renamed their prize Brahmin stud to Beauregard. Throughout his life, Bo has felt like he's constantly being watched. And he is. There exists a being of chaos, not of malicious intent, but just uncertain stability. A devil with a halo, if you will. They're referred to as the God of Jank. And Fallout Tactics God has existed even before Bo was born. Fatal error could not create primary back surfaces. What the fuck is that error? What the fuck is this? I think this... it runs on C#. It's also affecting my other software as well. Like my streaming software. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Now that I'm seeing it, it is not correct on the stream. 1920 by 1080 by 16? And fatal error. Lovely. See, even the boundary for the game only goes so far for my mouse. What the fuck? Why? Now, why are you over here? How does launching a game affect that? You know what? That's as close as I'm going to be able to get it. I'm going to give you about 12. So that at least leaves Beauregard with 12. Or 10, excuse me. And then... Stitch... You can... What? Did I put it on the fucking dead body? Where'd they go? Let's try this again. Inventory. I take these, move items. 12. Click on Stitch. No. That's such a dumb system. Where are you putting it then? It's just into the ether? Just reaching into this giant-ass wormhole? But they don't act alone. Beauregard has another celestial being that tries to point him in the right direction on occasion. She is his guardian angel, and her name is Miss Strahl. She's a character who provides insight for Bo's missions to come, as Tactics is her favorite world to protect. It made me a paranoid constant saver because I still wanted to play it. The jank in these old late 90s to 2000 games is, ooh, it's rough. Beauregard and his squad return to Bunker Alpha, and they enter through the vehicle depot. Familiarizing himself with the Bunker Alpha map, he memorizes the layout with the equipment store, recruits pool, briefing room, and infirmary. First entering the store, he meets the quartermaster Octavius, who oversees the equipment and distributes weapons and ammunition. Bo trades in all of the guns he had looted from the raiders for cash. Entering the infirmary, Bo meets the healer and scribe medical officer Celsius. With the cash he's just earned, Bo purchases some medical supplies. Walking in the recruits pool, Bo meets the recruits master personnel Yeoman, and he hands him a list of new recruits Bo can choose from to tackle his next missions. Making a full team of 6, Bo chooses to add 3 new members. Robin is innately discreet and can slip in and out of combat like a knife, while Jax is a run-and-gun type who's good with all guns and accepts the fact that he can die in action. And lastly, Brian, who is a loyal grunt to the end. Walking over to the briefing room, Beauregard meets General Barnaky face-to-face and sees he's recovering from a major wound. He gives Beau's squad their next briefing immediately, because after they left, more raiders stormed Brahmin Wood and captured the village elder. An informant on the inside reports Charon is being held in the broken town of Freeport. Their mission is to enter Freeport, rescue the elder, and get out. Barnaky says that they can meet with the informant and will be able to distinguish who it is since he'll be wearing red armor. But they should remain cautious around him. Despite the Brotherhood paying him, he is not a part of them and can turn on them if threatened. The newly 6-man crew exits Bunker Alpha and makes way for Freeport. Receiving the intel on his Pip-Boy, Beau learns the key points from the map. From their current location at Point 1, there are 3 points of entry into the base's perimeter, via an open ladder, the river bridge that's heavily guarded, or the stairs on the far east side of the river. Point 2 on this side of the river is reported to be lightly patrolled. Point 3 is a large still that can be destroyed as a good diversion, but doing so, an alert will be sent out across 2 sirens. Point 4 is the agreed meeting point with the informant, but it is imperative that he must not be seen talking to them. Inside the camp, Point 5 is a rough estimation of where the village elder will be found, so he recommends that they take a stealth approach, because if the sirens blare, they will be outnumbered, and the final 6th point will only be available after they have successfully freed the elder. Sneaking around under the night sky, the squad keeps their distance and pass a large tent where a guard is sleeping next to a campfire. From there they enter the riverbed trench, but some raiders from above spot them and take shots, waking the sleeping raider. Readying their guns, the squad kills 2 of the raiders, then take cover and file up the stairs. Hearing the gunshots, another raider runs over and is added to the body count. Sneaking into a broken building, they find their informant hiding. He says the tribal father is stashed in one of the tents because he's not going to hand-deliver him to them after being paid so little. He states the raiders are currently celebrating a successful raid, so they'll be too busy drinking or helping themselves to the prisoners to notice. And just like that, the informant leaves to return to his post. The squad sneaks into an adjacent building, and Robin alone saunters up to a raider taking a piss. He's able to kill the raider silently, but took a couple of hits in the process. While looting the body, Robin is spotted by a raider at a trash can fire and runs back to the squad for help. Beau trades places with him and kills the pursuer, but takes a hit, while Stitch tends to Robin's wounds. Sneaking alongside a building, they can see a female prisoner named Ripley through a window. With only his nimble fingers, Robin is able to pick the cell door lock. Whispering, she says if they can ever visit her hometown, Great Bend, she'll gladly repay them for saving her. Once unshackled, she runs off to safety. What the fuck? She just runs past a raider? Attempting to inspect one of the tents, after one of the squad members is detected, all raiders are fired upon approach. They're able to incapacitate and kill a raider, then another, but Robin and Jax are hit by friendly fire. Another raider attempts to assault the squad, just to fall to the dirt, and that's when the squad hears the sound of an alarm from the raider boss calling for all the others to wake up. 2 more raiders come running and then also die quickly. The squad runs to the tent entrance, and that's when all hell breaks loose. While racking up an additional 9 kills in the mayhem, Beau, Stitch, and Jax all suffer heavy damage, while Brian is nearing death's door. Leaving a trail of blood behind, the squad makes for a full retreat, and Stitch puts his medical knowledge to use. Crawling back to the tent, the squad is spotted again, and they take cover behind some sandbags. While killing both the attacking raider and another in passing, Beau accidentally shoots Robin. Looting the bodies, Beauregard hears more raiders around the tent, so they move in and kill 3 more raiders. In the mound of corpses, Beau happens to find a house key in one of their pockets. Having a chance to talk, the elder says he was knocked unconscious, put into a sack, and brought here. He recommends searching all of the other tents because the leader keeps his treasures stashed away in one of them. He says he'll wait patiently until they return to give him the go-ahead after a path for him to escape has been cleared. Walking around incautiously, the squad is spotted by a raider, but they remove him quickly. Running behind some sandbags, the squad plans to assault the leader's tent, but Jax catches a stray before proning. The squad runs behind the tent and Stitch takes a graze before managing to swarm inside and open fire on the leader to kill him, but Beau and Farsight each take a minor hit. Opening up the leader's treasure, the most notable piece Beau finds is a stack of 250 soda can ring pulls. Marching along, the squad finds a raider still sleeping, so they stick their muzzles through the window and pop him in the head. While Beau, using binoculars, surveys the still, the rest of the squad unloads on a roaming raider, and more raiders, hopped up on Psycho, run headfirst into a wall of bullets. Stitch then takes 2 hits to the back from a sniper, so the squad flanks around the side and kills him too. Running out into the alleyway, Brian is shot, so they take cover behind some metal barrels. From there, they kill the raiders, but Robin and Brian are both hit. The squad rushes the still, and shooting the still itself causes it to explode, taking 2 raiders with it. The squad plants themselves on the floor and kill the last 2 raiders, but Farr was shot. As they return to the village elder, just by seeing them return, he makes a mad dash for the extraction point, and the squad follows closely behind. Having completed the mission, General Barnaky gives them a debrief. The village elder says he was moved from camp to camp to keep the location a secret, but he heard that all of the bandit groups are meeting opposition in the west. This could be the leading reason behind the recent increased activity near the Brotherhood base. Barnaky says it is the Brotherhood's duty to investigate this new threat. He then states the informant from before received his payment, and is now working to scout out the new threat. So Barnaky commends Bo for keeping him alive. He notes that the woman he freed wasn't from any surrounding villages. This isn't unusual because the raiders' network is vast, but he scolds Bo for not bringing her in for interrogation. Barnaky then leaves him with the advice, duty must come before sympathy. And with it, the squad returns to Bunker Alpha. When next he enters the briefing room, Beauregard is given his new assignment. General Barnaky says that he received a report from Rock Falls where a large gathering of bandits was spotted. The report states the bandits possess a device from the new menace, and the scribes want to study it. Their objective is twofold. They must first retrieve the device, and then eliminate all bandits. He tells Bo that if he were to imprison a bandit, it would be an unauthorized action. Beauregard's squad makes way for Rock Falls, and at arrival, Bo surveys his map for a plan. They are currently at the insertion point, and the old city remains will provide them with cover. Point 2 is simply the main gates to the compound, and a frontal assault is advised against as it will be heavily guarded. Point 3 marks an old fuel depot that can prove useful, while Point 4 is a possible entry point. In a recent assault on Rock Falls, their back fence was damaged, leaving a weak point. And lastly, Point 5 marks a makeshift building that houses the raider captain, so they should expect some well-armed resistance there. Sneaking from the insertion point to the building remains, some raiders are settled by a small fire. But while watching them, another raider happens to detect them, but he's dealt with quickly. A second raider comes running after hearing gunshots, and he too is killed. Bo, Stitch, and Brian each take a hit, but the squad moves on behind some rubble to shoot and kill another raider. Sneaking up on the next raider, the squad is spotted, so the raider runs to activate the alarm. After killing him, Bo's squad hides behind a wall, and as 2 raiders round the corner, they are killed in staggered progression. Sneaking ahead to the street crossing, the squad is spotted by a raider atop a watchtower, so they run behind a wall for cover. Bo tries to crawl around the perimeter, but he gets hit hard, and is forced to run back to heal up. They try to funnel through a hole in the building, only to find it is completely blocked by debris. So as a full squad, they decide to run to the windows, and kill a raider on the ground, and the one in the overwatch. Bo and Jax are both hit, but Jax has the wind knocked out of him after being shot in the groin. The remaining raider runs to a safer position to take up aim at the doorway. The squad sprints to the entrance and kills the raider, but Robin spots a raider behind them and provides covering fire for his squad to enter the building. He joins them shortly after. Stitch manages to patch Jax up, but he's still winded. Poor Jax here has asthma. Bitch, so do I, but I power through. Together, the squad sneaks to the back of the building and around a line of cars to run up and kill the raider behind the sandbags. Except for Jax. He's lagging behind a bit. Walking on ahead, the squad finds the broken fence line from Point 4, and in it, they find a small opening just big enough for a single person to pass through. While funneling in, Robin spots an active landmine, so the squad retreats to safety. Robin, alone, sneaks in to disarm the trap, and soon discovers it's an entire minefield. He approaches the first mine slowly, but when he gets up to it, he realizes it's too advanced for him to disarm. Having a vision of a likely outcome, Robin decides to leave it alone. The rest of the squad joins Robin to maneuver through the minefield safely. Moving in groups of 2, they decide to hug the cliffside for safety, as Robin continues to call out mine locations. He then gets too antsy and shoots a raider in the distance, leading to Farsight getting shot, and 2 mines exploding inexplicably. Being able to see him under a light, Far and Robin kill the raider. After splitting into 2 groups, one group sees a herd of Brahmin being released from their corral onto the minefield. As one of the Brahmin steps onto a landmine, it becomes ham-dogger meat shortly after. 2 raiders run in after the Brahmin, and the squad unloads on them, but Beauregard takes a hit of friendly fire. A 3rd raider joins in and shoots from the fence line. With Bo staying behind, the squad runs in to kill him. Crawling past mines, one by one, the squad successfully infiltrates the base. Sneaking up to the medical building, they can hear a raider walking around inside. Ryan and Farsight hide under the windows for a synchronized assault, but when they hop up, the raider monologues with a limited vocabulary about his name, Bo. He's knocked out immediately after and killed. Trying to sneak beside the objective building, the squad is discovered by a raider, so they run out to kill him. But Robin takes a heavy hit. They continue their sneaking until a raider jumps out from behind a scrapped truck and shoots Robin again. The squad is able to take him out, and Robin takes some time to wrap his wounds. Then, while sneaking, by the power of Jank, Robin sees a raider through the wall and shoots at the wall. Hearing the gunshot, 2 raiders come running out of the building. The squad kills them, but Stitch receives a hard smack. The squad then sneaks into the raiders' quarters and finds a raider just standing around, so they kill him too. But they didn't see the other raider until he started shooting back at them. The squad runs behind a small table and kills him, but Stitch happens to shoot Farsight too. While everyone is looting, Brian is shot from outside the building and the squad scrambles to get behind cover. Being cautious, Robin continues to loot while the rest of the squad keeps their guns trained on the doorway. A war dog runs in only to be stopped by a wave of bullets. But elsewhere, Farsight is critically shot twice by a distant raider. The squad retreats to a different position to let Stitch use all of his doctor's bag on Far. The squad runs to the back door, except for Jax, who ends up bottlenecking the team because he's still winded, and they kill 2 raiders. But Far, Jax, and Brian all take damage. They tuck into a corner to heal up when they hear more raiders walking around just outside the perimeter wall. The squad climbs up a ladder onto the perimeter walkway to get a survey of the land, and Jax is able to walk off his groin injury. Sneaking back down to the ground level, Robin runs in to act as bait, and comes back unhurt. Twice, but the raiders aren't falling for it. The squad then tries to assemble at the entrance, but with the doorway being too thin, only Jax and Brian are able to shoot, or be shot. The squad retreats, and this time they run all the way in to kill the raider, but when they hear a sniper shot whiz by, they run away again. While fleeing, the squad is spotted by another raider in the mess hall, so they rush inside and take out the 3 enjoying some food. Bo and Stitch did take some minor damage, but Jax was hit hard. Stitch heals Jax up while the rest loot the mess hall, but again, are seen through a window. Pointing his barrel through the iron bars, Robin manages to kill the raider. It's then that Bo finds a prison key on one of the raiders' corpses. Before leaving the mess hall, they hear a raider outside and plan an ambush to kill him, but Robin gets wounded. The squad sneaks up to a prison door and Bo is able to unlock it. Once inside, they find Dyson, who's clambering on about a flux capacitor. He says he was apprehended on his way to the Brotherhood's base and told the raiders about being a scribe. He was forced to study a device that he has no idea where it originated, but it has a unique construction. He tells Bo that they can have the artifact, but he wants to be rescued first. When instructed, he says he'll make a beeline for the base. Relaying the information back to base, General Barnaky says the artifact is actually a mechanical arm, but they must first finish their mission to destroy the rest of the raiders. Feeling safe, the squad takes the time to patch up. To cover more ground, the squad spreads out searching around the prison, but Jax gets shot by a raider shooting through the large pile of rubble, so they run to a safer position. Robin unlocks the door to the perimeter wall, and the squad prepares for a breach. But in his aggression, Robin shoots at a raider through the wall, making the raider charge in only to become red mist. A raider on the other side of the door lands a shot on Stitch and Jax when the squad attempted to retreat. The raider followed them, stepping through the doorway, and the squad lay into him. They also shoot another raider through the perimeter wall, and in all the chaos, Robin happens to get shot. Sneaking around Point 3, the squad discovers the old fuel depot is unguarded, so they run back inside the perimeter, but that's when Jax is shot by a sniper from the HQ's balcony. Stitch then patches up the bullet wound. Returning to the minefield, they enter the Brahmin slaughterhouse. From there, they position themselves along beside the large gate's operating room. Robin attempts to pick the lock on the door, but this one is too difficult even for him. And that's when Beauregard's guardian angel tells him that there is a key he must find. And you're sure that there's a key? Not exactly where or who has it. Gotcha. It's gotta be one of these guys down front. Unsure of what to do next, the squad forms a plan B. I don't know what to do. It's gotta be those fuel tanks. That's the only thing I could think of. Like, what the hell am I supposed to do? And how big is the boom? I'm not quite the Costco guys, but I'm gonna be bringing some type of boom. This is plan B, because plan A, there's definitely something else that I'm supposed to do. Who's got the best arm? Let's see, which grenade did I want? There were 2, technically. Incendiary and frag. Gonna move you a bit closer. Why are you... motherfucker. Well, noted. I have to move a little bit closer. Probably should have saved before throwing it. That way I don't have to do all this over again. But this will be a test to see just what the effect is supposed to be like. 6% chance. Motherfucker, why do you keep doing that? What? What? The fact that I just lost a grenade? Motherfucker. motherfucker. This... Oh! No? Oh, great. Just my luck. I get too impatient. This way I can get them to attack me. Yep. Down. Aim. Good. Critically hit Jack for 54 with a wicked hit. How? After all that. Farsight, I want you back here, please. Oh, and you didn't even have your good weapon out. God damn it. Why? Okay. What? Did this raider just happen to have some grenades? Why? What? What? Wait, did Brian throw a grenade? Critically hit himself for 36. I gotta check. Where's Brian's body? He used the grenade! Did I not take it off of him before then? Oh, damn it. It was his equipped item this whole time. Burst fire can make up for having only moderate accuracy with a gun, but then it comes absolutely essential to make sure your squaddies don't catch each other. Yeah. What was her name? Katja. Give me an SMG, I've got your back. You don't have to worry about a thing. Burst mode. Dead. And unlike this game where you can actually control where people stand, they all just huddle up right next to one another. I am more accurate at this distance. Right? Shit, I right-clicked. Running through different battle strategies, Bo finally has a good one. The squad splits into two groups. The Rangers, Farsight, Stitch, and Brian, and the Heavies, Beauregard, Robin, and Jax. The Rangers climb up the perimeter ladder into a sniping position, while the Heavies sneak into the fuel depot. To kick things off, Bo shoots one of the fuel tanks, and once it blows up, he runs back into position. Hearing the explosion, the Raiders run to find out the disturbance, and that's when the Heavies fire at anyone who enters the depot. Meanwhile, the Rangers above pick off any stragglers. Farsight is shot twice and is badly wounded, but manages to heal herself, even with bullets still passing overhead. The Heavies move in for a pinch maneuver and kill the 3 Raiders shooting at the Rangers. But Bo had a close call when he was knocked off his feet. The Rangers move along the perimeter wall to the next vantage point. Brian... Stupid animation, like, what'd you need me? Meanwhile, the Heavies take cover behind the Raiders' sandbags and fire upon the Raiders ahead, killing 3. But Robin is also hit twice, so he drops down and wraps his wounds. From there, the Heavies sneak away and around, and once Robin has a clear shot, he kills the remaining Raider. Hey, Strahl? It's getting kinda close. Me having to research bodies, and maybe the key being on the inside, and I don't know how to get in. Did I check all of the named Raider lieutenants? I know there was this dude, and then the one guy in here, and he had a key. Retrieve the device, eliminate all Raider leaders? That's an interesting description. Okay, so I at least know that there's a third one somewhere. But is there a fourth one that I wasn't paying attention for? Okay. What? What? What are you doing? Why aren't you... This is the way we came in! That is so funny. Like, everything's so carefully crafted. You're supposed to sneak under here. And then he just walks around. Can I interact with the door? Neither of the two men you've encountered are the one with the key. The third one is the one who has it. You might have to go hunting for a body. Fuck! Regular raider. Oh my god, I've missed this. How did none of you come? What? The squad runs into the raider barracks and swiftly kills the first raider they see. From there, they crawl into the adjoining sex dungeon and take cover behind a barrier. Once they jump out of cover, the raider leader, Daisy, monologues about keeping some of the male members of Beauregard's squad as her personal slaves. The squad deftly takes Daisy and her 2 guards out, and everyone but Beau is shot in the process. Talking to the tribal man in the cell, he begins to cry about the bad things Daisy did to him. Looting Daisy's body, they find a key marked Gate Switch Room. Beau then opens the sex dungeon cell door and helps Nanook. He tells him that Daisy did painful things to his little tribal, and also gave him a bad smelly rash. He then runs out of there to find a medicine man. The squad then returns to Dyson to report the path is cleared. Hearing this, he runs out too. Before re-entering the minefield, the squad heals their wounds with stimpaks to prepare for the next engagement. Using the key, Beau unlocks the gate switch room and triggers the switch. As the gate doors swing open, the squad can see the 5th point, the base. Sneaking around, the squad climbs up a ladder to the perimeter wall, where they are spotted. Stitch gets scared and freezes in place, and Jank decides to have some fun. What the fuck? What are you doing? What the fuck? Oh my god! What? Why? What the fuck are you doing? Regaining control of the situation, the squad attempts to climb the ladder again, but this time, Farsight is spotted by a raider on the inside of the base, so she shoots back. But when she's fired upon by 2 raiders, her fellow brothers rush up to join her. Far manages to score a kill on the raider inside, but Brian is shot by a raider on the balcony. Twice, so the squad lower their heads below the railing and run to the far side of the perimeter. Stitch and Robin are both shot by the balcony raider, so they take a dive and kill the 2 raiders on the perimeter, after which the squad sneaks their way back down the ladder. Some bad perspective and detection jank under the hood. I never encountered any. Sneaking up a set of stairs, they take out 2 raiders on the balcony, but Farsight accidentally nicks Stitch. And when they go to loot their bodies, they find a 3rd balcony raider who lands a shot on Robin and Jax before being killed. They happen to hear another raider on the inside, so Jax runs over his bait, but in his arrogance he takes a shot. He lands it, but he receives one back, so he returns to the squad. Together they storm the entrance and kill 2 more raiders, but Far shot Stitch again. They split into 2 groups again, the OGs and the newbies. This time, the OGs will ambush from above via the stairs, while the newbies barge in through the front door. Just as Brian set his hand on the door handle to set the plan in motion, he finds out it's locked. The newbies then return to the squad and they crawl down the steps and all the way to the counter. But Jax jumps the gun and shoots Jesse, the final raider leader. He says no one is allowed to raid his camp and orders his troops to kill all but one of the bucks for his dearest Daisy. The squad then jumps into action and they begin shooting all 3 raiders. Only Jax is hit before Jesse utters his last words, and he says this will be an omen for things to come involving some monsters. After Jesse is killed, General Barnaky states the mission is complete. The squad can report to Xville. Then the battle resumes and Beau is shot twice before killing Raider 2, and Robin shoots Brian before killing the last raider. Before leaving, Robin finds a hidden safe and attempts to open it, but Jank stops him. Can't reach. What do you mean can't reach? It's right in front of you. What? I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean you can't reach it? Sometimes there is pathfinding jank when trying to use a skill, so it's more reliable to manually position your characters beforehand. I see. Upon exit, General Barnaky says that they made history by destroying the raider forces. The leader bodies will be put on display to deter any new followers from amassing, and the base will be repurposed as a Brotherhood of Steel outpost because of its intact resources. He then gives Beau the moral lesson, there is always another enemy. The scribes hypothesize the mechanical arm is meant to be a replacement for someone, but it's too advanced even for the Brotherhood to continue their study. He commends Beau for freeing the scribe because he's proving to be a useful asset back at Bunker Alpha, which is where they're headed. Walking into the briefing room, General Barnaky states the work in the remote area is complete, and it is time for them to expand. He says Beauregard's squad is now stationed in a new bunker to the south. Together they leave Bunker Alpha to a new beginning. After being fully initiated, the Brotherhood let Beau know of their highest objective, the Super Vault, the nucleus of the Vault network that housed the highest intellectuals and what was the spearhead for a post-war civilization. The Brotherhood wants the ultimate technology and its access to the ancients. The journey to Vault Zero will be perilous, so the Brotherhood plans to follow the rivers south in hopes to form alliances for recruits while eliminating aggressors. Bunkers will be built in new regions, and once Vault Zero is found, their final task will involve traversing the mountains. Making the trek over to Bunker Beta, Beau and his squad encounter quite a lot along the way. Here we go. Okay. Oh, fuck! This was a nice learning experience to first learn about, because there was one time that I ran into raiders like so. No. Another one right away. Everybody run! I feel no need to interact with that. I mean, I get it, but I'd rather just skip the random events. At least in, like, the other games, if they occasionally get experience or bullets and everything. Not, like, full crews, I don't think. What the fuck? Dog goes to the great kennel in the sky. Yellow fluid is gushing out of the dog's head. What the fuck? What are these odds? They're intended to give you the XP necessary to reach decent levels as you progress. Missions alone likely won't be enough. So that's probably why it keeps stopping me. Finally arriving at Bunker Beta, the squad enters through the vehicle depot and are greeted by Peck, the mechanic. Looking over the map of Beta, the amenities are all the same, just in a different orientation. In the briefing room, Beauregard speaks with General Barnaky, who was also stationed there. He says he has 2 missions for Beau. In Macomb, their supply lines are being targeted by raiders, but they received a distress call from the escort squad they sent with a supply wagon. He says that one unit warrior has been separated from his main group and needs backup. The mission is to relieve the survivor of his duty and then escort the supply vehicle through the town safely. He says an attack on the vehicle is likely. Meanwhile, the advanced equipment they've acquired needs fusion batteries to function, and without the ability to produce more, they need to acquire more. In the tribal village of Preoria, the report states it is built atop a pre-war storehouse for fusion batteries. Barnaky says the savages are guarding the batteries, so he wants Beauregard to retrieve 3 of them, and as a bonus, to do it cleanly to recruit them later. Deciding to visit Preoria first, Beauregard encounters God's influence again. Uh-oh. Damn, he's fast! You will not get away! There we are, thank mother bitch. Arriving at the village, Beau is greeted by a wooden fence lined with bones. Taking a look at his map intelligence, he reads the known key details of Preoria. Starting from the starting point, he can see Point 2, which is a ladder, leading to a cliff top separating them from the local fauna. Point 3 is where the village elder will greet them as visitors, while Point 4 is the village itself. The scout report says they call themselves the Wachutu tribe and are apparently friendly. Point 5 is where another ladder is located, and the last notable point of interest is a staircase, only with the note, "It leads below." Stepping into the village, Stitch being the most charismatic, meets with Chevron, the village elder. He welcomes them to the village and knows that they are looking for something called Few Shunned Bats, but says he won't help them. They're currently being kept in the entrance to hell by bad spirits that kill the villagers. Chevron says if they can ward off the spirits, they are free to have the batteries and will become allies with the Wachutu people. Looking around the village, the squad believes everything is normal, except for the staircase and the manhole covers that are holding turrets. Walking down the stairs, it leads to a mechanical underground storehouse, and at their feet is a dead body and a dead scorpion. What the hell? This place is massive! There's a whole other section over here! What? It just keeps going! Taking their first steps cautiously, a hidden scorpion approaches them and is lit up. But Brian did shoot Robin too. The sound of gunfire draws out a swarm of cockroaches, and the squad kills 7 of them, but Farsight and Brian are hit with friendly fire multiple times. They walk into a corridor, but with a large hole in the floor, they can only go in one direction. In a nearby room, the squad can hear an even larger cockroach scuttling around. Bo decides to open the door to a different room and sees more of the regular roaches, so he runs into the doorway to draw them out. Taking aim before leaving, he manages to kill 2 of them, and then as the roach reaches the door frame, the rest of the squad shoots it. And Bo. Entering another room, Bo opens the door to an adjoining room and kills the roach inside it. Bo opens up another room, and when the roach goes for the squad, he crushes it to death. The rest of the squad backs up while Bo and Robin squish the other. Finally, they take on the big cockroach room. Bo opens the door, and a small roach comes waddling. Brian kills it at point-blank range, and the squad runs to take aim at the big cockroach. But this big insect can spit acid and hits Farsight, poisoning her. The squad runs to the next room over. Bo opens the communicating door, and they can kill it from there, along with a hidden small roach. Stitch tries tending to Far and heals her wounds, but he's unable to cure her poisoning. The squad moves on to the next room and hears the scuttling of more big and small roaches. Bo opens this door, and the small ones start their approach, while the big ones start a-spitting. The squad starts off firing and killing the little ones, and Robin takes a graze from Far. Then they wrap around and storm in to pick off both of the big roaches. At a training room of sorts, Bo again opens the door, and again sees big and small roaches. Jax immediately shoots Bo, still in the doorway, twice, and Brian nicks Farsight. But after that, they kill the little roaches. Beauregard moves back and kills the closer big roach, and Robin shoots off the other's hind legs. After being immobilized, it has one fate left. The squad presses to the next room, where they kill 2 more big roaches, and Brian accidentally hits Stitch. But the good news is that Farsight is able to get the poison out of her system. The squad then runs to the next area and takes cover behind some wooden boxes. Robin is spat on and subsequently poisoned, but he manages to shoot the first big roach's jaw smooth off, but Robin also gets shot by Bo when he kills the big roach. The squad then shifts focus to the other big roach, and they kill it. And Brian repays the favor to Bo. The squad then runs into a nearby billet and clear out the small roaches, despite Brian getting a nibble. Then, inexplicably, Bo and Stitch's skin begins to glow, and... What was that about? No one from my team is missing. I would have thought that was like a cinematic moment or something. They move back to the western hallway where Bo opens the next door and the squad runs into the room. A big cockroach spits and repoisons Far before being killed, as well as 2 smaller roaches. But then, Jank takes over Robin's body. Oh. What? This draws the other roaches near, and Robin now aggressively kills the small ones by shooting through and injuring Farsight. She manages to escape, and the rest of the squad kill 5 small roaches and 1 big. Stitch then walks over to heal Far. What exactly are you shooting? Bo and Robin run into the next room of small roaches and crush them all with clubs, but Bo did get a bite to the ankle. Then he finds a yellow passkey on a bookshelf, and along with the rest of the squad, he uses it to unlock the locked yellow door. Inside, Bo finds one of the fusion batteries in a blue locker along with some Rad-X. Off to the side, Robin picks the lock on a safe and gets some more loot. The squad walks into the hallway, and the doors to the right open automatically. Walking in cautiously, the squad sees a small room with only a single monitor and some loudspeakers. On the opposite side of the room, the other doors won't open. I have a sneaking suspicion I know what... Robin? Where are you shooting? Unlike in Fallout 1, if I just take the Rad-X for my character, I don't need to worry about the radiation affecting anyone else. Bo activates the computer, and he hears a voice come over the speaker. It says backup power was activated along with the internal security systems. Then it declares a malfunction in the turret control and initiates a repair. I know it says repairs, but I'm afraid that if I do something bad, the turrets are just gonna start shooting the people upstairs. The doors they entered close, and the others open automatically. Looking down the hallway, they can see the remains of a Vault Zero citizen. They decide to walk in, but as the first foot crosses the threshold, another voiceover pings. It says a security breach has been discovered and activates intruder termination mode. The red scorpion was killed. Cool. From there, the squad moves together slowly. At the end of the hall, they can see 2 turrets rising out of metal grates. A loud clunk is heard. A few seconds pass, and the turrets lower back down. Crawling toward the turrets, they see the turrets rise again, and they begin firing at the squad, and retract again. From there, they retreat to cover and learn something new. It's 100% a timed thing. Waiting for the turrets to retract, the squad moves from cover to cover. But as they run to the last set, Farsight is slow to prone and is shot by the turret. The squad makes some room for her, but then Brian gets hit through their cover. When the turrets retract again, the squad sprints to the next door and they jam up, but are able to squeeze in at the last second. I'm afraid you might want to withdraw before you end up like those bugs. Sending them between elevations is a glitch. What Mistral is saying is that all of these random shots the squad took before were actually hitting the rad scorpions above the village. What she's worried about is the turrets magically being able to kill Beauregard and his squad mates through walls later on. Brian heals his wounds the best he can in preparation to help set up a trap. While the squad locks down, he runs out and baits 2 rad scorpions in, and they get the kills. Funneling into the hallway, they hear another turret rising around the corner. There is a difference between the sound. I think that's down. Jax, being the healthiest, goes to check out the nearest room. Inside, he sees a small roach and shoots at it, and misses 6 times. He's bitten twice before he actually kills it. He waits for the right opportunity to run to the next room, and upon entering, kills 2 more roaches, but was bitten by one of them. Over on a workbench, Jax finds a toolkit. That's down. You can hear it close afterward. Up, he runs to cover, and when it is safe, he stands to look around. He's able to see 3 big cockroaches and fires at them. Taking cover again to reload, he sees turret lasers pass by, but when he attempts to run back to the middle cover, Jax is spat on and poisoned. He manages to kill 1 big roach and knocks another out. Elsewhere, Jank is helping Brian shoot the 3rd. The turret kills the unconscious roach, and Jax runs back to the farthest cover out of range from the next turret. He enters the next room and finds a fridge with another yellow passkey. Interacting with a terminal in the room, it opens the metal door to the next room. Inside, he finds a stim pack and an antidote lying on the medical table. Running across the opposing room, Jax unlocks another yellow door and finds a desk. When he opens it, a gas trap is triggered and almost kills him. He rushes to heal himself and also uses the antidote. Carefully reopening the desk, he finds upgraded armor inside. Running to the far end of the hall, Jax finds himself in an open conference room. A big cockroach spits and re-poisons him. Jax is able to kill it, but is shot in the back by a turret. He stops to heal again. Needing backup, Stitch and Brian head out to help Jax. Make your way in. In. All the way in. Please. Ugh. Okay, yeah, and I should also reduce the amount of time it takes to just start moving by having them standing. What? What the fucking Together they move to the next set of cover, but Stitch is still shot behind it. They eventually meet up with Jax, and Stitch whips out his medical supplies. This is an endeavor and a half. Please fix... I guess fix yourself first. What's the fucking point? I understand that there's chance, but what the fuck is that? 106! And I fail? Okay, first aid. Use item. First aid. Click. Is that how it works? First aid. Click. Whatever. What's the fucking point? For 10! Other people have gotten 14! Ah! First aid or doctor skill instead of just clicking on the item. But that was the whole... I don't know. I guess the first aid was supposed to be the med kit, but even then I try and click on the goddamn stim and that didn't seem to do anything. Fucking... I'm okay. I'm okay. Jax. Yeah, you got rid of your poison at some point. Healed for 16. Why? Why? Why are your... I'm losing my mind. I'm very close. I can feel it. There are so many minute errors that are happening. But I feel like I'm close. And then Stitch, can you... Skill. No. Inventory. Use this, the remaining first aid Don't use. Use, skill first aid. 106, please, on Jax. Was healed for 40 HP. Okay, that makes much more sense now. All together now, the squad runs across the hall and picks off rad scorpions at a distance, after which they enter a room with gas tanks and eliminate the roaches and rad scorpion there. But Brian accidentally hits Stitch too. Moving further into the dumpsters, they kill another rad scorpion, but this time, Brian shoots Farsight and Robin shoots Stitch. Robin returns to a blue locker he saw and finds a second fusion battery inside. Oh, number 2. I'm getting the suspicion that the blue lockers have the, fuel cells. Some barracks. You. How do I get to you? I don't like you. Why are you different? The squad runs to the opening of the next room and kills a large swarm of bugs, but Brian shoots Robin in all the mess. Now, with his expert knowledge, Stitch helps heal the team, but he also breaks Far's leg, crippling her. I'm okay. 112%, correct? I swear to God, that's what I used. And I snapped her leg when I was just covering up a little scratch or something. Doctor? On Farsight. Requires a doctor item. Ha. 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 I think. Doctor. On Farsight, right? How much are you using? Fully healed. Okay. Robin is then sent in alone to the next room. Listening for the turret hatch to close, he runs in and behind some machinery for cover. From there, he hits a switch that turns on the lights of the facility. This won't slow me down, right? The door being open? Come on. Or closed? Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. What? Oh my God! What's the fucking point of the lights, then? Robin's whole shtick was actually being able to see better in the dark, I think. That might be why they were so inaccurate in shooting each other. Because everything was so dark they couldn't see, so they just kept popping each other in the back of the fucking head. Retracing their steps, the squad enters the other branch. Son of a bitch! Bo then walks over to what looks like another light switch, but when he flips it, they hear another voice message. It says the inner lock has been overridden and has changed from internal to external defense. It states that the surface sterilization will begin in 10 seconds. Off to the side, the doors to the nearby room open up, having a vision of what could happen. Ooh. Bo flips the switch again, deactivating the surface defense and reactivating the internals. The automatic doors also close. Should go back up top really quickly to take care of the surface turrets first. Surface? How do I take... Oh, do I just destroy them? I'm willing to find out even with them activated. Gotcha, they're really good at that. Oh boy. While the surface turrets are disabled, you can do whatever you want to them with impunity. You could try hacking them with science or maybe even steal their ammo. Let's just try it with Bo, because maybe he'll get experience points for doing it. Steal? This cannot be good if I steal right in front of him, right? Cannot perform that action. What happens if these two numbskulls try and beat them down? I guess if I'm gonna be hacking into them, who had good science? I'm gonna need you to science it up first. I've already saved. Does nothing. Was I supposed to do something downstairs? Can you really not interact with them while they're closed? I swear this game copy and your setup are introducing some modern jank that's messing with the collision detection. Inventory, set timer. Wait, hold on, cancel. Yeah, you have to position yourself first. 30 seconds. Wait, what? What? Hold on. What? What are you... Huh? I don't... It still didn't even affect these. It's undamaged. Yeah, insult to injury. Man, 30 seconds is a real long time, huh? You know, did I ever actually activate it? I gotta check. Undamaged. Sorry about that. Should have worked, and did in fact work with the original software on original hardware. Yeah. Returning to their original plan, the squad will now be part of a juggling act, in which one person must jump cover to cover, while another operates the switch within a 10-second time frame, thus keeping everyone alive. No. As much as I want to trust Robin with the smaller figure, it's gotta be Farsight, because having the two names so close to one another, it's gotta be like that. Beauregard activates the switch, and Farsight runs in behind some machines for cover. How? It was 2 seconds, was it not? In the latest patch of the game, there's a glitch where the surface turrets will randomly activate and fire at any time after they've been flipped on, even once. That's so great. I guess I just have to get lucky. When Jank isn't looking this time, they attempt their plan again. Bo flips the switch on, Far runs in. And... What the fuck is that? And Bo turns it off. With everything working correctly now, Farsight crawls to the edge of the monitors, and she waits for the turret to descend and sprints behind a countertop before it raises. Farsight can see 2 doors before her similar to the previous, so she'll need Bo's help again. Waiting for the turrets to descend this time, Bo hits the switch. Far sprints to the next room and takes cover behind some rusty barrels. Inside, the lights turn off, and a red light shines over her hiding spot. She hears a voice say she has entered a restricted zone. Bo activates the switch, and Farsight waits until the new turrets descend to sprint behind a set of boxes. Bo hits the switch. Farsight runs into the next room, and as she crosses the threshold, time begins to slow as she passes a turret still in its up position. She scrambles to hide behind some benches, and Bo hits the switch. A second turret pops up, and Far understands the first is actually broken. Oh, okay. I need to go celebrate for a second because my nerves are really high. Oh, thank fuck! Still undercover, Farsight loots a nearby locker and finds an M16A1 inside. It's just now dawning on me. These developers are so specific when they plant stuff. They give me a bunch of antidote in this place when I'm running across a bunch of bugs and everything. So they're giving me an M16A1. There is going to be a death claw down here. I am going to rip my throat out if that is true. While the working turret is down, Farsight runs to the next set of cover and then into the next area, where she sees it's been filled with bugs scuttling toward her. Unable to protect herself, Farsight is eaten alive. That's fine. That's fine. That's really fucking fine. I can't win. I can't win. I can't win. I can't win. Unless I want more people, but... like, that seems like such a stupid plan. Not actually supposed to be this difficult. The Jank is making it so much harder because the code is not performing as intended. It's better the situation than I would. Probably just try to fix whatever was causing the problem instead. Volunteering to help her, Brian retraces the steps of the big sister. Upon reaching Farsight, Brian heals up his previous wounds. Then Jack steps up, and he runs on through too. Okay, there's that glitch that we were talking about. After joining his sister, the three are now a part of a secret agent group. Together they run in, and Brian is spat on immediately, but they manage to kill a big roach and 2 rad scorpions. Brian heals some of his wounds before they walk ahead, and are spat at again. This time, they're able to dodge it and move on. The agents approach the showers and kill a few small roaches, but Jax did shoot Far. From there, they can see the carcasses of other bugs splattered by a hidden turret. The agents try to sneak around a corner, but Jank forces them to walk farther than expected, so the turret can see them. The sound of gunfire draws some bugs out into the hall, and Jax shoots Farsight while killing a baby roach. The agents retreat, and a rad scorpion following their scent is killed by the turret. The agents run when the turret is down and ignore a big roach that will just end up dying to the turret anyway. After killing 2 little roaches, they find a locker stocked with 3 M14s and 300 rounds of .303 caliber. Remember, the green glow means radiation and fallout. See, I did not know that. They proceed to storm to the next room and shoot wildly, killing 3 baby roaches and injuring Farsight. Jax fires a shot at a red scorpion with its claw poking out, but it rushes him after he misses, landing 3 heavy hits before the other 2 help kill it. Jax then heals up his pincer stings. Moving into the pantry, the agents spot and kill 5 baby roaches. They slowly enter the next room with automatic doors and kill a big cockroach. Nice. But I'm afraid of that one that I know is over there. And this, I don't even know what this is. To me, this looks like a big-ass sentry gun, or like AA gun. Looking inside a locker, Farsight finds an electronic lockpick, and when she moves over to a shelf, she picks up... That legitimately scared the shit out of me. The real threat is something else you've already partially guessed at. See now, will you believe me when I say I don't know what the fuck I was afraid... Fuck it, we bowling. Jax pops a rad axe and charges into the gated room. Doused in radiation, his skin begins to glow. Running to the back of the room where the radiation is lighter, Jax comes face to face with... What in God's name is that? That's so mean, dude. I have to now send someone to go get the rad axe from Bo. Bo's health was not in the orange last I knew. I'll get Stitch all the way around. I'll give everybody, all 4 people, Rad X. We're gonna go in there. We're gonna wreak havoc. We're gonna get that fucking power cell. And then we're gonna make our way back, recruit the people upstairs, and then we go home. And then we go sleep in our beds, and no one says anything about all the monstrosities that we saw here. This is type B sort of fun. Type A is when you're doing something and you immediately are having fun. Kind of like a roller coaster. Type B fun is when you're climbing up a mountain. You hate every single moment of it. But once you're finished with it and you think back on it, you think, you know what? In retrospective, that was kind of fun. I could maybe do it again. The journey was half the fun itself. This is that type of fun. I'm not having fun in the moment, and looking back at it at every moment that I've come to has been kind of fun and funny. This roadblock now is really putting me in my place. Oh! You should also play Macomb, too. Oh, yeah, the other one with the driving. It's fun generally, but also different kind of hell. The minefield and rocket launcher ambushes kind. That's type C fun, where it's not fun at all. Stitch takes his turn to run the gauntlet and joins the agents. He doles out the rest of the Rad Axe, and the new agents swallow their pills. Farsight opens up the door and gets an early shot on a big roach, and they all enter. Their skin begins to glow and are hit with a wave of nausea from the intense radiation. Far is doused, spat on, and poisoned. As Jax sprays the big roach, Farsight is also hit. Shifting their attention to the next big roach, it spits and poisons Brian. The agents run to a position across the chasm and kill 2 big roaches from afar. And that's when they shift to the mama, the roacher. They start shooting across the chasm and the roacher retreats in pain. The agents move back to kill a small and big roach, and then run around to cover for Farsight to quickly heal. They run into the open area and shoot at the cornered roacher, and despite trying its hardest to flee, the roacher is killed. Farsight opens the last blue locker, and in it finds the 3rd fusion battery. She receives a message from General Barnaky telling them to exfil after having found all 3. Leaving the roacher nest, Stitch gives Far and Brian antidote for their poisonings. The agents begin their long trek back to join Beauregard and Robin, and along the way are careful of the turrets and any remaining roaches. Farsight makes it back okay, then Stitch and Jax. And when Brian... And the turrets took out the tribals. Very fun. Just as Brian runs in as the last returning agent, Stitch finishes patching up Bo. As a full squad again, they all exit the underground facility and see the tribal men are alive and unharmed. Bo walks over and speaks with Chevron, who then says he tricked him and his crew to kill the spirits and are now cursed to produce children with tails and smell of Deathclaw stinkhole, all to avoid having his people suffer the same fate. To show the worth of the Wachudu people, Chevron gives Bo a 4th fusion battery for being his pawn. He then leaves Bo with a village proverb: every elder was once young. Chevron is puzzled when he sees Bo is smiling instead, and says Beauregard's tribe's customs are weird. I received a comment from Miss Strahl right before I went to sleep. I saw that I had a notification saying that there is one more glitch that I need to worry about when I interact with the chieftain. I need to make sure that when I talk to them, that I don't have one of the fuel cells on the person that talks to them. Okay, I think that's the glitch that Miss Strahl was talking about, is that I should technically get another one. Okay, so if I reload, give this to Farsight real quick. And you have 2. Okay, and then Bo, go talk to Chevron. I hit done. Inventory. No. Okay, then I reload. Maybe I choose one of the people that has never touched one of the batteries before. Done. Inventory. Okay, maybe I was supposed to barter there? This is weird. I feel like I'm supposed to have one, but this game has been borked to high hell for so long that it doesn't even matter anymore. The squad exits Preoria, and Bo receives another message from Barnaky. He commends his completion of diplomacy with the Savages. He says the Brotherhood will return soon to train them with civility, and with proper time, this will allow mankind to grow in its potential. Leaving Preoria, the squad travels back to Bunker Beta. Do I want to encounter wasps? No. What the fuck? Beast Lords? No. Beast Lords? No. Let me go home. My people need to go home and rest up. Oh my god. No ghouls. Just back at base. Whew. I got a comment about how many encounters that I'm receiving in the wilderness is because of the higher frame rate for my game. This game is supposed to natively run at 30 FPS. This monitor is 165. Inside the base, Brian gives Farsight a dose of Radaway. She feels instantly better and is no longer radiated. Stitch goes over to the medical wing and buys 3 more doses of Radaway. He administers it to himself first, and he gained addiction to Radaway. I'm gonna save, again, heaven forbid. Doctor, can I use this item? Does nothing. Okay. But first aid, does it work this way? Does nothing. Okay, never mind. Use on me. Stitch looks a little better. Still radiated, though. Use on Jax. Jax is no longer radiated. And Brian. No longer radiated. So did you just get like a bad roll or something? The jank you're pushing through in this playthrough is unbelievable and almost unplayable. Almost. You got a bad roll and a pretty rare one, as healing items are supposed to have a very low chance of failure or addiction. You're just gonna re-roll every time. Every time. Use on Stitch. There's no fucking way. How? You did not get that much more radiated than everybody else. Use on Jax. Perfectly fine. This has got to be another glitch or something. Because the fact that they're taking damage from the injection, like, is like a level of realism. But the fact that Stitch doesn't take any damage, Brian, no longer radiated. Bo, you're good with healing items. Or was it? Where did I get all this red away? What? I had this on my damn it. Fine then. We go back to here. Or should I pick the one... Robin. Fuck, you also have it on. Hand it over to Stitch real quick. Because I would prefer to have someone who isn't radiated and doesn't have the battery on.
You foolish...
Done. Inventory. Okay. There we are. Clearing the irradiated status in the village before leaving. It won't be building up and affecting you on the whole trip back to the bunker. Should be better off in the end now. Okay, perfect. Inventory. Radaway. Stitch looks a little better. Still fucking radiated. Use that on Farsight. Stitch gained addiction to Radaway. What? How did... What? He gave it to Farsight, and he became addicted to inserting it into people. My luck cannot be this bad, right? Farsight is no longer radiated. Jax no longer radiated. Use on Brian. Stitch gained addiction to Radaway. How? I'm not even using it on you. I'm gonna reload. We're just gonna dole it out. One. It's a little better. No longer radiated. Jax. No longer radiated. Brian. No longer radiated. We save. And Stitch. Stitch looks a little better. Still radiated somehow. We try again. Looks a little better. No longer radiated. So he really did get a higher dosage or something. There is no way someone should become addicted to just administering chem. This jank is unreal. It's so funny that I'm the one that's experiencing all this, and it's like, I didn't even know this thing was possible. How the fuck are you finding this? After getting everything straightened out, everyone is rad-free, and they were able to obtain the 4th battery. This time, Barnaky has a new, different message that adds a part. He says the scribes will begin research on the extra battery. Bo will now spend the next hour preparing the supplies necessary for his next mission, and right when he's done, he does this. I didn't really accomplish too much in this stream, but that's perfectly fine, because a lot of it was just trying to get things to work out of the facility and reorganizing stuff. But that saves me time in the next stream, which I'll be doing tomorrow. Oh. Alright. How? How do I... Oh my god. Yeah, write that in the script. I thought it better to go back, so I went back there, got the pistol, and shot myself. The squad then heads for Macomb, where they meet the Brotherhood pilot, Christian, standing outside of the supply wagon. He tells them the original escort squad is currently pushing up mutated daisies, and the wagon will be next. He says the animals have set up a lot of roadblocks that will need to be cleared out for safe passage. Running back to the base, he yells out the keys are inside the vehicle. Taking a look at the map, Bo sees a clear outlined route ahead of him. Starting from point 1, their current safe zone, they'll navigate through points 2 through 5, all blocked with barricades. A scout report says point 6 is a library that may have pre-war knowledge, and point 7 is the next safe zone for the vehicle, so they must pilot it through the streets for Xville. Jax, being the best driver, enters the Hummer and starts the ignition. Down the street, Robin and Farsight can see raiders on top of the buildings preparing an ambush. Without Jax, the squad runs around to flank them. As foot soldiers, they move from building to building while Jax inches along. The footies enter a building next to the first roadblock, and try sneaking in, but are spotted at the entrance, and Far and Stitch are shot. The footies do kill both raiders, but Bo also shot Far. Beauregard then finds a switch and flips it. This opens the door to the roadblock. Finding a ladder at the back of the building, Robin and Brian climb up and kill the raider on the roof. The footies then sneak across the street to a car junkyard. Using the cars as cover, they shoot and kill a pack of guard dogs. Sneaking across the next street to a broken down building, Robin and Brian quietly climb up another ladder. Robin is able to sneak up behind a raider and whacks him with a monkey wrench. As the raider runs away, Brian shoots him in the back to finish him off. Robin and Brian then run across a makeshift bridge to another rooftop, but along the way, Brian is shot. They manage to kill the raider on the same rooftop, but when they see more shooting from across the street, they retreat down the ladder. This time, the full footies sneak up the ladder and crawl across 2 roofs to avoid detection, but on the third, they're discovered by a raider who shoots Brian and Bo before being killed. At the other end, the footies descend a ladder and see a raider that looks friendly? Beauregard approaches him alone, and he says he'll tell him where the gate key is for some food. He tells Bo it's located in a chest on the roof, but when Bo looks into his bag to repay him, the raider draws his gun. But Bo's squad mates are able to shoot and kill him before he pulls the trigger. Robin sneaks back up alone to retrieve the key, and he finds a chest with a house key on the first roof. The footies find a small metal shack with a lock. Using the key, Robin unlocks the door, and inside he finds a switch. Activating it opens the second road blockade. The footies then approach the Bolorama slowly, but when they see some raiders on the inside, they hit the dirt and crawl along the side instead. While climbing up a nearby ladder, they're spotted, so they take up point at a makeshift bridge. From there, they take out 2 raiders at range, then cross the bridge to the next and kill 2 more. Running up to the building's edge, Stitch is shot, so the squad crawls over the bridge and sprints across it. On the other side, they kill the 2 remaining raiders, but Bo and Robin took some friendly fire. Robin then, guided by Jank, shoots through the roof at the raiders inside the building. One of them returns fire and hits Robin. Well, it's believable to think that he's like just shooting straight up through the roof or something. Stepping away, Stitch heals up Farsight and Bo. The footies then make their way back to the Bolorama entrance and run through its doors to kill 3 raiders. But Bo shot Far, who shot Stitch. Looting through an icebox, Bo finds some time bombs stashed away. Jax is given the clearance to begin moving the Hummer. I'm pretty sure I have to make sure that he doesn't fucking crash or anything like that. Oh god, yeah. There's some drifting that you need to worry about with this. He maneuvers around the streets and blockades deftly to the next safe point. The footies pass through the unlocked blockade and sneak to a nearby building to avoid the totally obvious and visible parapet. Holy shit, no. Farsight then finds a narrow alleyway only she can pass through. Leave it to the smartest of the crew. The only woman of our team. She has to spelunk through some rubble to find the back entrance. Meanwhile, the boys enter an ambush position, but because Jank told him to, Bo continues walking and is detected. The raider with the RPG misfires and blows himself up. All the while, a grenadier raider misses her throw and hits Bo and herself. The explosion leaves Beauregard winded, but kills the grenadier. Stitch then patches up Bo, but he remains winded as Farsight sneaks into position. From there, she shoots through a concrete pillar and kills the remaining raider. Far is able to loot 11 grenades from the grenadier's corpse, but Bo is only able to recover the RPG launcher from the red paint smear. He activates a nearby switch to open the third blockade, and the footies sneak over to the library. Inside, they can see a librarian pacing around. Brian goes to greet him, but the librarian gets defensive immediately, thinking they're bandits. He says his glasses are the only thing they didn't take, and now even those are gone after he ran away. Being the kind one, Stitch talks to him instead. The librarian apologizes for his outburst and says his name is Philip. He collects books and uses them to teach Macomb's inhabitants, but 2 weeks ago he was attacked while searching for more and lost his glasses while escaping. He then asks the squad to help find them for him. Entering the open blockade, the footies sneak along the sidewalk but are spotted and shot at. Stitch and Brian are both hit. Stitch wraps up his wound and the team goes loud, dumb, and proud. Farsight and Robin are shot, but they kill 2 raiders and then Stitch is nicked. They move in for a clear view and Bo is shot this time. They move even closer and get the kill, although Brian was shot by the raider. And Farsight. She and Robin use stimpaks to heal up. The footies sneak into the next building and Brian is shot at, but Brian lands a shot on his attacker and they run away. The footies follow him to a small room where Bo gets a bullet to the body and Stitch gets a rock to the head. They kill their attacker only to realize he was just civilian dead. Oh. Civilians in this mission that are hostile will always remain, so because the optional quest to pacify them got cut. Ah, damn. Lore explained it as them being hungry enough to turn them into banditry. Tired of the carbon monoxide poisoning, Jax drives the Hummer up to the footies and rejoins the squad on foot. All together again, they sneak down the street and fire at civilians. Bo is shot from the black building's balcony, so they start to approach it, but civilians on the opposing rooftop throw Molotov cocktails at them. Avoiding the fire, the squad retreats, and a civilian chases after them, flipping the bird. The squad kills him. The squad enters the front door to the black building. Rushing in, they swiftly kill 3 raiders. But Farsight shot Brian. Bo opens the door to a side room, and the squad enters, but Stitch is hit hard from the auditorium. The squad gets the kill on the evading raider and push into the doorframe. Inside, they kill the last 2 raiders, but Robin was hit in the scuffle. Stitch patches himself and Robin, while Farsight takes care of herself. The squad walks up a staircase, and Farsight walks out onto the balcony to activate a switch, opening the 4th blockade. She and Brian stay above and set up on the balcony, while the rest of the boys crawl through the blockade. Seeing it's clear, the snipers make their return to the group. But then, a raider jumps out from cover and runs toward the boys, only to be killed. 2 more raiders come running and the squad retreats. As a full squad, they run out and kill the raiders. Sneaking up to a demolished building, they rush in and use rubble for cover. Farr and Robin are shot in a burst fire. The squad rushes together and kills the first raider, and then fan out to swarm and kill the other. The squad walks back down the street and finds the road is lined with landmines. Robin leaves the pack to scout ahead. Oh wait, then what the fuck am I supposed to do about the truck? The rest of the squad follow Robin's safety line and snake into an empty motel. Thinking it's safe, they stand up, but Jax and Brian are shot from across the street. Brian is deathly wounded, and Stitch rushes to patch him up. Robin sneaks across the street to the construction yard, making a new safety line for Bo. Robin then positions himself behind a raider, and once Bo is also in position, he sprays his raider down, while Bo shoots the grenade in his raider's hand, killing both. The rest of the squad crawl over to join them. Together they march forward and kill a raider from behind. The squad sneaks along the backside of an apartment building, and coming to a street corner, they open fire on a pack of wild dogs. Civilians come running, throwing rocks at the squad, but they just lay into 3 of them, and Robin into Bo. More civilians begin throwing Molotovs, so the squad retreats into the building. The civilians give chase only to be caught in a trap and killed, and Bo shot Robin, who shot Brian. The squad passes through some rubble and crosses the street, and completely ignore the civilian throwing rocks. When a civilian runs up and punches Jax, he kills him in self-defense. More civilians squeeze through the fence and punch Bo, Stitch, and Brian, just to be gunned down. While Bo heals himself, a hidden raider shoots Jax, but the squad manages to kill him. Stitch tries to heal Jax, but he instead breaks the bone in his penis before healing him. Bo swings around the fence line and activates the blockade switch, while the rest of the squad enters a parking garage. Bo then joins Brian, running upstairs and aiming across a bridge. They spray and kill 2 raiders above. With the rest of the squad, they sneak over to the next rooftop and kill 2 more raiders watching over the minefield. Retracing their steps, the squad is shot at from an earlier building, so they run over and remove the threat. But Farr shot Robin, who also shot Stitch. They cross over to walk beside a building that smells of radioactive waste. Brian runs to the entrance and sprays down a raider inside. Sneaking inside, Jax enters the bedroom and shoots another raider. The squad follows him to a room in the motel, but he runs back out and into bullets. Returning to the radioactive building, Bo looks through a chest and finds a pair of spectacles. On their way back, Robin goes to the middle of the street and shoots the mines from afar to clear a path. Returning to the library, Bo gives Philip the spectacles. He says the prescription is close to his, and with them, sees the scars on Beauregard's body. Philip gives him a book as thanks titled Maddox's Trips and Traps. Giving the book to Robin, the most knowledgeable about traps, he skims through it and learns something new. Jax hops back in the Hummer and carefully drives through the blockades and the street of less mines. Meanwhile, the footies sneak over to a building near the last blockade. Stitch is sighted on the way, so the squad kills a raider through the window. Next they turn to the raider shooting from behind cover, but Stitch, Robin, and Bo are hit with a shotgun spread before they kill him too. Sneaking inside to heal up, Farsight is also shot through a window. Stitch wraps up Robin's wounds before he and Brian sneak upstairs to shoot a raider. But before dying, he throws a grenade at them, and it does hit them both. They switch their attention to outside and kill the raider behind cover. Brian sneaks over to the broken pedestrian bridge and kills another raider with the height advantage. Robin then sneaks through some rubble to flank the enemy. He crawls behind and past the enemy line, climbs a ladder, and burst fires to kill a raider with an RPG. All the while, the others take out another ground troop. As they inch closer, they're targeted, so they run to cover built by the raiders. As they drop below, they see another cover set explode from just a grenade, so they have to pick off the final 2 raiders from a distance. Now safe to do so, Robin finds 2 explosive rockets on his kill. Rejoining the squad, Bo gives Robin the time bomb to set up. He waits for everyone to stand clear and sets the bomb for 30 seconds before running to cover. Given the go-ahead, Jax drives down the street all the way to the exfil point with the rest of his squad. Once there, they're met with a mission debrief from General Barnaky. After clearing the route for the supply wagon, 3 extermination squads will be dispatched to remove any lingering riffraff. Anyone not killed will instead be put to work in labor camps, and from there, Jax drives the squad back to Bunker Beta. Walking into the briefing room, Bo speaks with Barnaky. He says the township of Quincy, the home to humans and ghouls, is requesting protection from a group called the Beast Lords. They're raiding parties with members that include Wasteland monsters, of which include most notably the Deathclaw. The mayor's assistant, Aline Turling, says the Beast Lords have taken over sectors of Quincy and are using hostages for control, including the mayor Hillary Eastwood. Bo's next mission will be to rescue the mayor and deal with the Beast Lords, leaving Quincy in the best possible condition. Barnaky then tells him one last note about Quincy. He tells him to be aware of the racial tension stirring in town. Bo is confused whether Barnaky means there's tension between humans and ghouls, or if he's suggesting he's going to have the hardest time out of his whole squad. Regardless, Bo returns to his squad. Despite a black man being in charge, walking right into the most racist town in America, Beauregard knows he has nothing to worry about, having his squad at his side.